This is W2FJH. We'll be starting the STNY digital voice net here in just about 10 minutes. We do have NetLogger up and running. For those folks who was checking early, you can find NetLogger at netlogger.org. We also do have Google Meet up and running. If you wish to join us on Google Meet, you can find the link at stnydmr.net. So we'll see you folks in just about 10 minutes there. This is W2FJH. W2FJH. We'll be starting the STNY digital voice net here in just about 5 minutes. We do have NetLogger up and running for those folks who was checking early through NetLogger. NetLogger can be found at netlogger.org. We also do have Google Meet up and running. If you wish to join us on Google Meet, you can find the link at stnydmr.net. So we'll see you folks in just about 5 minutes there. This is W2FGH. This is W2FGH bringing up the STNY digital voice net on Brand Mexico Talk, Group 31367, Wires X Room 83721. and live stream to Google Meet and YouTube. The primary purpose of the STNY Digital VoiceNet is to help foster an active digital voice community in the southern tier of New York and to provide a forum for those that are interested or have questions regarding various digital voice topics. While this net is primarily for the southern tier, all stations are more than welcome to check in. This net meets weekly on Sundays at 7 p.m. Again, the call is Whiskey 2 Foxtrot Juliet Hotel, and the name here is Frank. Well, first, you can stand by for any stations with emergency or priority traffic. Please call now. Right, another note there. If there is an emergency or priority traffic during this net, please give your call sign followed by the word break spoken 2 times. Please leave a 4 to 5 second pause between transmissions for breaking stations or for those who wish to disconnect this talk group. This is a direct net, and the format will follow announcements, questions, and comments. This net utilizes NetLogger, which can be found at netlogger.org. For more information about this net or to join us on Google Meet, please visit stnydmr.net. That's Sierra Tango November Yankee Delta Mike Romeo.net. You can also find us on 73.net. That's Sierra Echo Victor Echo November numeric number 3.net. This net will prioritize short time mobile in and out or emergency power stations. We currently do have one, two, three. We have 3 stations checked in currently. So the net would like to recognize K3BYC Carlton, N3OJP Mick, and N2NCB Paul. All right, when checking in, please give your call sign, your name, and your location. So let's take a standby for any stations that are short time, mobile, in and out, or emergency power. Please call now.
N2 NRA, Cliff from Waverly. To be in and out.
N2 RWH, in and out.
All right, we have N2 NRA Cliff and N2 RWH Ed. Thank you both for joining this evening, and have you both checked in and out. Were there any other stations that were short time mobile in and out or emergency power? Please call now.
W2 KDC. I'm going to be just short time on.
All right, and we also have W2 at KDC Dennis. All right, since you're going to be short time, Dennis, we will hand it right over to you. Just by the way, the net topic this evening was if you participated, how did the summer field day go? So I'll hand it over to you there, Dennis.
Thank you, Frank. It's a pleasure to be here today. I did participate in the summer field day with the Clara group, Cuba Lake Amateur Radio. It was try again. Something dropped out there. It was my first field day. Uh, I I guess I'll say I was a little disappointed. I thought they were going to be doing more of a public event uh, and trying to enlighten new people. Instead, the bunch of people that were there had their station set up and very much into contesting, uh, which I guess is also a big part of amateur radio. Just wasn't quite what I was expecting for field day. W2KDC, I'll be back to you, Frank, in net control.
thanks, there, Dennis. And yeah, sorry to hear you were disappointed there. And I guess it takes all different kinds of hams. Some people are really into the contesting portion of it. Me myself, like I actually don't have my general license, so I mean I know I could get on the air, but me myself, I like the social aspect. I like to go down and actually see all the names and faces and everything. That I hear the call signs on the air. So it's good, from my perspective, it's good to actually meet in person and actually see all these people. So, all right, this is W2FJH with the STNY Digital Voice Net. Let's see if there's any additional stations that were short time, mobile, in and out, or emergency power. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, and thank you all. If there's any additional stations um, that would like to check in this evening, I know there was a little delay there with all of the short times and everything, but please call now. All right, nothing heard there, but I did see NE2W Ed. He was on NetLogger, so I do have you checked in there, Ed. All right, let's kick things off. If there's any announcements for the net this evening, please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so let's move on to questions. If there's any questions for the net this evening, please call now. All right, nothing heard there either, so we will move into comments. And the net topic this evening is if you participated, how did summer field day go for you? So the top of my list is K3 BYC Carlton. How was your week there?
This is K3BYC, Carlton from Darlington, Maryland, Harford County. And good evening, Frank. Thanks for taking the net. Good evening to everyone else who's checked in. Well, there are three field days near me where I knew most everyone between two clubs and the areas there. And did not make any commitments. I just said I'm a maybe for any of them. And due to it was pretty brutal heat here, which I'm sure it was your area too. I elected not to go out and participate in any of them. I know I went out just to get a food delivery yesterday, and my car thermometer said 100 degrees when I first got in. It came down maybe a couple of degrees when I left. But I decided I did not really want to get out into that. So I spent my time here at home. And yeah, I participated on some of the 2 meter simplex from two of the sites that were doing get on the air stations. I participated that way, but I decided, I didn't care for that weather. I say I like everybody. I know everybody there, but now some things it just wasn't up for it. So although I didn't hear too many people complain on the air about it, so I guess everyone had a productive time there. So anyway, I hope all of you did, if you did participate there. Thanks for having us out of staters and letting us participate in this net. So anyway, I'll say 73. This is K3BYC. Back to net control.
Hey, very good there, Carlton. And yeah, no problem at all. I think actually you're going to get our DX award for the net this evening. I don't think I think you're the furthest away. So, all right. Next on my list is N3OJP. Mick, how was your week?
Good evening, Frank. Everybody on the net. Frank, you had another station try to check in. I'll stand by. Okay, hopefully he'll come back. It was N2BSS. Like Carlton said, it was hot. And Jill and I come up to Chautauqua Lake here to the cottage on Thursday, and well, it was just as hot. And I got some air conditioners in, so that helped cool us down a little bit. Regarding field day, I usually don't participate. We got a couple clubs back home in Pennsylvania, and they do get the public involved. The one club sets up right on the town square in downtown Beaver, PA. And in fact, I had a couple people walk up who recently upgraded their licenses and they wanted to join a club. Well, they joined ours. That was kind of nice. The other club is nearby in Economy Park. And same thing. You know, they always try to invite the local officials and the sheriff and, you know, try to get other people involved. But this morning, I was on FL Digi. There's the Mid-Atlantic NBMS net at 10 a.m. And getting on 10:30, well, I was on 432, which is 630 kilohertz wide. Excuse me, 630 hertz wide. It's fairly wide digital signal. And at 200 hertz, I'm hearing this CW signal. And of course, I got all that digital noise and I'm hearing CW, and I picked up a couple letters. Finally, I just switched my radio over to CW and I zero beat the station. He was close. He was overdriving the front end of my radio. I had to turn the gain down. But then I picked up the call sign and I went on QRZ, and here he's practically a neighbor. We're on the big inlet. You know, we got a straight shot to the lake, but then there's like an S curve up above us here, and if I probably look in between the houses, I can probably see his place. Let me get a break. So I sent him an email, introduced myself, and he knew all about our place. Of course, when you go out to the lake, you go right by us. Knew the boat, everything. And what was funny, he knew my grandson by name, because you know, our family go out on the lake, and you know, a lot of them want to go swimming, and there's a sandbar. It's really shallow. So a lot of the boats kind of anchor over there. And when he wrote to me, he said I was my grandson. He mentioned him by name. Plays with his granddaughter in the water, and I said, how do you like that? He knows my grandson. that was pretty good. So we had a little bit of fun. So we're going to hook up here. I mean, we're so close that well, maybe over the 4th of July, his wife and Jill and I will get together and we'll do something. So kind of made our day here. Because when he was sending out CW, I picked up WIN, excuse me, WNY. I said, there's a field-based station. So that was kind of fun. Frank, I'll turn it back to you and listen to the net. W2FJH N3OJP.
Hey, very good there, Mick. And yeah, some of the things that's always yeah, we live in a small world after all, right? So, all right. Next on my list is N2NCB. Paul, how was your week?
Hello again, Frank and all, into NCB here. Week wasn't bad. It was too hot. Uh, so we kind of stayed inside. We might have done a couple of things outside, but when you're talking 95-degree temperatures and high humidity, that's not for us. So we did stuff inside. Today wasn't even any better. Got a couple things done outside, and I had to call it quits. Temperature wasn't high, but it was just a no go. And as far as field day goes, no, didn't do a thing. Uh, I got better things to do than be outside in the sun, kind of deal. So didn't even do anything from the house as well. And if I wanted to, then some of the storms came through, and so there was no choice there at all anyway. Um, Anything else? No, I guess that's it from this end. So I'll turn it back to you, Frank. Take care, all, into NCP.
Hey, very good there, Paul. And yeah, I hear you. I didn't get outside too much this week as well. I know I still got to pick up some rocks and stuff from where they had done the excavation in our backyard. And yeah, I was just like, no, I'm gonna wait until it cools off some. But the good news, I think some of these passing storms, I think tomorrow and the next couple days, I think we're getting into a little bit of cooler temperatures, not the high 90s anymore there. So. All right. Also, just by the way, I did pick up N2BSS Jeff. I did have you checked in here. So this is W2FTH with the STNY digital voice net. Before I get to my next station, let's see if there's any additional stations who would like to check in this evening. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so we will move on down the list to NE2W. Ed, how was your week?
Oh, good evening, Frank, and everyone on the net this evening. This week, like everybody else's, was very hot, and basically went swimming when I could, and did not get up to the club. It, the publicity was really good. The local club here in Elmira put a beautiful article in the Elmira Gazette in their newspaper, right on the front page, and our Binghamton Press picked it up as well in its entirety with pictures and a great description of field day. And our club operated from the Copernic Observatory in Vestal. I guess it went well. I was going to go up um, on Saturday evening, but when I was getting ready to go, a storm rolled in, and I've been on a hilltop before in a thunder and lightning storm, and I'm not afraid of it. But when I'm up on a hilltop, it's a different story. Uh, One time I was up at our club with the 90-foot towers on top of the hill, and all I could do was just get on a wooden chair in the middle of the room away from any metal, because stuff up there over the years had gotten hit. But so I wasn't able to make it up Saturday evening. Dick's Sporting Goods Open had Luke Bryan playing, and the same thing there. They had to move the concert back to 9:30. Uh, so that's about it. Week hoping for the cooler weather.
Hey, very good there, Ed. And yeah, at least I don't feel too bad. I was hoping to make it up to Copernic this weekend, but uh, with the heat and also the last 2 weekends, me and the wife have been just very busy. We've had family and friends down and visiting and things like that, and we just kind of wanted a week to relax a little bit. So at least I don't feel so bad about missing it. All right, next on my list is N2BSS. Jeff, how was your week?
Good evening, Frank and the Net, and to BSS. Kind of recovering from my field day operation. I did field day here from the second QTH up in the southern tier. So I put another Western New York station on the air. So I operated one Echo off my solar powered station, or at least my solar powered room. So I took off the 12 volt bus there. Set up an AEA ISO loop. I remember that was an antenna I mentioned on here a couple of weeks ago, and I had that on a portable mast that was held up by a T-post. I pounded into the ground and then duct taped the mast to the T-post. So there you go. So I had that in a 10-meter vertical. I tried a wire for 40 meters, but it just wasn't long enough, so it really wouldn't load against the long wire setting on my antenna tuner. Couldn't get the SWR down to something safe, so we bagged it. I did make one contact on 40 meters on it, but that was pre-field day. But that's been about it. And I did run a small inverter to run a ventilation fan over in the building. Otherwise, there was no 120 volts involved, all off the solar batteries. And I'm happy to say that I did have enough capacity in the batteries, but they were getting low toward the end when I finally broke the station down. So, and as for the heat, can't do anything about it other than wait for the colder weather to roll in. So, or I should say the cooler weather. It'll get cold again in the fall, and then we'll be complaining about how cold it is. Back to you, Frank, into BSS.
Yeah, hi. Don't say cold weather. We don't want to get to that point this quickly. So, but glad the ISO loop worked out there for you. I remember you mentioned had some questions about it last week, so glad that worked out. All right, this is W2FJ8 with the STNY Digital Voice Net. I have reached the end of my list. So let's see if there's any additional stations that would like to check in this evening. Please call now.
N2 NRA, Cliff from Waverly. I think you got me. I got mixed in the group for in and out. Back to you, Frank.
All right, the Network Direct is N2NRA. Yes, I did put you as in and out this evening. Let me just clear that status here now, and we will hand it right off to you. So Cliff, how was your week there?
It's pretty hot today. Temperature now is 77 and 4.4 inches of rain. Storm went through. Had family from Colorado and up from Annapolis visiting, and we had yesterday we had a family picnic and outing there at Hickory Park in Owego. But I didn't work anything with field day, but my son had worked 40 meters, 10 stations on QRP CW, and visited a station briefly at Elmira there at Harris Hill. Back to you, Frank. W2 FJH. This is N2NRA.
Hey, very good there, Cliff. And yeah, you were up in my neck of the woods there with Hickory Park. It's a nice little area down there. All right, and yeah, 4.4 inches of rain. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of rain. So hopefully everything's all right on your end there. So and you stay safe there. So all right, this is W2FJH with the STNY Digital Voice Net. Again, let's take another standby for any additional stations that would like to check in this evening. Please call now.
Whiskey Victor 3 Mike.
right, and I'd like to recognize WV3M. I'm not sure if you prefer Joseph or Joe, but you're next on my list. Just as a quick reminder, if you happen to tune in a little late there, the net topic this evening was if you participated, how did your summer field day go? So I'll hand it right over to you.
Good evening, Frank and crew. I would probably prefer Joe. I did not participate in field day, and I'm coming to you from Texas, Pennsylvania, down in the valley. We're away for a long weekend, and nothing else to add, but thank you for being there. WB3M. Hi, Cliff.
Yeah, thanks, there, Joe. And yeah, I did see. I flipped back. I was like, wait, the call sign does ring a bell there. And I see you have checked in previously into this net. So thanks for stopping by again. All right. This time, let's open it up for any additional stations or any stations that have checked in with additional comments, questions, or concerns. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so we will wrap things up here. It was a good group this evening. So I'd like to thank Carlton, Nick, Paul, Cliff, Ed, Dennis, Ed F, and Ed K, Jeff, and Joe for joining me this evening. We'll be returning this talk group back to normal amateur radio use. Hopefully everybody has a great and safe week there. Hopefully this week will be a little cooler. So if not, please stay cool. So this is W2FJH. I'll be listening.